We're only 2 days away from the suspected expected $85 billion cut in federal spending. Good evening. Thanks for watching News Channel 9 at 5. I'm Calvin Snee.
And I'm Kim Chapman. The White House has released state-by-state estimates of the impact of the so-called sequester. News Channel 9's Jerry Askin is here now to explain how these potential cuts will impact people in our area. Jerry.
Well, Kim and Calvin, bottom line, something will likely have to be cut. I focused today on early education, a major item on the budget that may be cut if this so-called sequester actually happens.
Uh-oh, look, the key fell out. Will you put it back in?
These boys and girls are having a good old time today at recess. But soon, for kids like one-year-old Haven, she may not have the same friends and teachers to learn and play with.
It would be really devastating to have to cut 90 children. How do you pick which 90 children to cut?
And that's how many children could be cut from the Northwest Georgia Head Start programs if the so-called sequester happens on Friday. And here is how it all breaks down. Of the 6 Northwest Georgia counties in our viewing area, nearly $700,000 would be cuts from the 23 Head Start centers. That's about a 10% cut of their budget. It'll mean 90 fewer spots for children, and some 15 teachers will have to be cut.
We just are still keeping our fingers crossed that it's not going to happen.
And this would compare to a whopping 1,700 fewer Head Start spots available for children in Georgia and 1,200 spots in Tennessee. Teacher Julie Adams knows firsthand how vital early education is for kids.
It's a good foundation. It helps everyone develop into the adults that they need to be.
And though she has some fears about her own job, her main concern is making sure every child receives the education she says they need.
It would just be devastating to see them not have what they need and what the service that we provide.
And as these kids play and enjoy time today with friends, teachers and parents are sitting back, hoping the cuts won't happen. But if so,
we'll just have to look at where the services are, where the children are, where the greatest need is.
And the cuts could also impact funds for law enforcement, public health, military, teachers, schools, and many more. For a full list of cuts by state scheduled for March 1st, just head over to our website, newschannel9.com. Calvin.
Jerry, thanks. Senator Bob Corker was in Chattanooga last week talking with business leaders about the looming sequester. He says that while those billions of dollars in cuts will be tough to swallow, they may just be what our country needs. To see more of his remarks, just go to newschannel9.com and search the word sequester.
So with the deadline less than 48 hours away, how did we get to this point? Who's to blame? Well, that depends on who you ask. In the summer of 2011, the federal government was nearing its legal debt limit. When push came to shove, Congress and President Obama agreed to increase the debt ceiling and borrow more money. After many more sessions failed to reach an agreement on spending, sequestration seemed to be the last option. Senator Paul Rand blames President Obama, but the White House sees it differently.
For goodness sakes, it was his proposal. You know, he proposed the sequester. It was his idea. He signed it into law. And now he's going to tell us that, it's all our fault.
Republicans thus far have refused to do this. They've refused to go along with the American public on the simple notion that balance is the right approach to dealing with this problem. And it's important to understand that if they hold that position and the sequester goes into effect, it will go into effect and those Americans will lose their jobs because Republicans made a choice for that to happen.
And without a last-minute deal, sequestration will arrive on Friday.